Good morning, Henry. Well, I guess good afternoon. You probably slept like a rock. Anyway, there's still a few hours of daylight to get some work in. I can see you at your desk, so call me when you're ready.
Firewatch was released in 2016 and is a single-player walking simulator. If you're thinking to yourself, who in their right mind would want to play a walking simulator? Maybe you should just go outside there, Mr. Review Man.
Hey,
My
sorry,
response
I
to
just
you
slipped
is,
in.
you don't
You
need to
gotta
be
relax,
so
Sadie.
mean.
What, 14
But
hours
also,
of
while the
sleep?
gameplay is limited to walking
Yeah,
around in a
Jesus,
forest in Wyoming,
6?
the story is what you're really there
6:45.
for.
Whoops.
While you're enjoying the
Don't
painted,
worry about it.
cartoony
That
look of
hike
the
puts
game, you
everyone out
walk
of
around and
commission for a
explore
day
the
or two.
forest and talk to
But now that you're
Delia,
up, let me
your
quickly
fellow
get you
firewatching
acquainted with the
employee.
job.
She's
The
excellent
thing
company
in
to
the middle
drag
here
around with
with
you.
a round map on
The
it.
voice
See it?
acting of both Delilah and Henry,
Okay,
who are the
yeah, I
main
see it.
characters, is fantastic,
This is
with the
the
voices
Osborne
sounding clear and
firefighter,
emotional.
invented in
The
1914
dialogue is also
by
well written and seems to
W.B.
be almost real.
Osborne.
The sound
This is
effects
the
are also
spot.
quite
You
crisp,
guessed
with
it.
each
Fire.
interaction with branches
Fuck.
of
What
brush
is it?
around you or the
Nothing.
water beneath your feet, keeping you immersed.
You use this
The
to...
music, though not
Fuck
constantly in
me.
ear,
Good
helps fill
God,
the
language,
silence in
lady.
between
Out your
conversations,
west-facing
and is
window.
also
Are you
appropriate
seeing
to the
what I'm
moment,
seeing?
whether adding to the
Whoa, that's
suspense
not
or the
legal, right?
sadness.
No.
Normally, I don't go too
You need
heavy
to
into
get
the
down
story
there
because I
right
actually
now
want you to
and
play
stop
some of
them.
these games,
Fire
but since the
dangerous
main
through the
focus of
fucking
the game,
roof.
I'm gonna have to give you a
Is
bit
that
more
really my
detail.
job?
But don't worry,
Your job is
there isn't
whatever I
going to be
say
any
it is.
spoilers.
The closest ranger is
The
like
game
3
starts with
days
a bunch of
away.
decisions
Go
you
down there
make while
and
reading
set 'em
text
straight.
and then breaking up each decision with a bit of tutorializing and
Do I write him
walking.
a ticket?
Long
Easy
story
there, Dirty
short,
Harry.
Henry, our main
Well,
Get
character,
going.
is
We
running
need
from
a
his
rope to
personal
get down
problems,
shale between you and
literally,
the
by
lake, if I
joining the
remember
Forest
right.
Service.
There should
He
be
meets
one of the
Delilah,
supply
his
boxes on
boss,
the
and they
way.
find themselves
The
dropped
code
into a
is
suspenseful
1 2
mystery.
3 4.
The game has some darker
It's
themes, which
actually
is a bit
best for
shocking on my
all
first
of them.
playthrough considering the look of Firewatch. The
secure.
story is
Shut up.
good and kept me on edge the first time I played it, and even now, since I forgot most of it since the last time I played. The game does let you make some choices, but they rarely change anything besides subtle dialogue as far as I can tell. Some days also have some quick and jolting endings, and it skips forward quite a few times. The game is good at building suspense and mystery, while also letting you enjoy the creation of a friendship between two people. Though the gameplay is mostly just walking around and exploring, there are quite a few items to interact with. Most of them actually have options on what you want to do with them. And it's not just press F to throw into lake. You actually can just throw them into the lake. The game doesn't even tell you that you can. You can just do it and the game reacts. Though I was sad that I couldn't actually fish with the fishing pole the game gave me. The exploration also doesn't just lead to more dialogue, but the occasional collectible, and perhaps you'll even find a pet. The game also makes it easy to get back on track with a map and a compass telling you where you need to go and how to get there. Though there isn't a giant glowing arrow saying, "Go here!" The game does give good directions. Overall, Firewatch is a good game for a particular kind of person that doesn't mind a slower gameplay
Found the
with
supply
a
box.
good story and dialogue to keep them entertained. It's a short experience, running me about 3 to 4 hours, maybe more if you really wanted to see everything in a playthrough. If you've never played a walking simulator and are questioning whether they could be even good, this is one of the better ones to
Hey, I
start
found
with.
a note to a guy named Ron from some
Or I
game.
suppose you could just walk outside,
That's
but
probably Dave Gaskell.
who wants to do that?
He's completely nuts.
Is that right?
Harmless, but yeah. One of those, fall off the grid and eat ants for a week type. Totally fucking cuckoo. Which is kind of what the job attracts.